Hi guys! Wow, that was really intense. This is my quarterly movie review video. These are the movies I've watched recently, TV shows, things like that I watched, and I'm going to give you mini reviews on. Some I recommend, some I think were horrible, and we're going to get into it right now. First, Wine Country. I'm sure most of you have already seen it. It's a Netflix original movie. It has Tina Fey, oh my god, why am I blanking? Amy Poehler, a bunch of other women from SNL, like a classic SNL group, and I think it's a pretty good movie. It's all these ladies come together to celebrate one of their friends' 50th birthdays. They go to wine country. I think it's sweet. It shows like a real relationships and how they are, and I think it's women supporting women. You don't see many movies showing women at this time in their life coming together, having fun, and really being how women are. My mom and her sisters hang out and do things like this like they did in the movie, and I can really see them like in these characters, and I think it's really refreshing. I think it's great for anyone to watch this, whether you're that age or not, because it kind of gives you more respect for women of that age, and kind of you see these women as real people rather than just like older women who, you know, had kids, they grew up, and now this is this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's really important to shine a light on women of this age. They should be able to see themselves in media in a movie that surrounds them and not their relationships with men. I think there's like one guy in the entire movie, and I don't know. I think it's really, really sweet. I think Tina Fey is also in a really different role than I've really seen her before. It's a little slow moving, and there's some weirdish moments, but when is there not when it comes to these women from SNL, you know? Next, The Fix. That was a TV show. It was a limited series on ABC. It was actually produced by Marcia Clark, the lawyer in the O.J. Simpson trial, and it was a very similar vibe to that. A little bit more intense and, like, you know, ABC drama, but it was really good. It was really surprising, really deceitful. It is a 10-episode limited series where someone dies in the beginning, and the entire show you're trying to find out who did it. And usually I know immediately. This time I kept going back and forth, and I was never really like set on someone. And then when they finally reveal who the killer is, like, I'm like, what? No. Yeah, I think they did a really good job. I would totally recommend watching it. I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu. In a new territory, I watched a Hallmark movie. It's called A Feeling of Home. It's with Nathan Parsons from Roswell. That's pretty much the only reason I wanted to watch it, because I love him. So it's really cheesy, like any other Hallmark movie, but it was cute. The acting is a little hard to get through. Like, as much as I love him, I feel like anytime you watch anything on Hallmark, it's just more unrealistic than anything else. Even the best actors can go on Hallmark, and like the movies, just like, ooh, like, it's hard to watch. They show a girl coming home to help her dad on a ranch, and like they show like when you work on a ranch, you gotta work there and you gotta focus. Like, they make it seem so like normal for someone who's working on a ranch to be able to just like go into town and go shopping for a few hours and come back. Like, no. You can't do that. I've never even worked on a ranch, and I know that. You know, the plot is kind of dumb. I definitely wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for Nathan Parsons. I'll put it that way. Okay, Every Day. Oh, I forgot. Every Day. This movie is so good. I remember when the commercial came out and I really wanted to see it, and then just recently I watched it. It's so good. I'm sure you guys saw the commercial. It's about a girl who falls in love with someone who's in a different body every day, and oh my god, I just think it was such a feel-good movie. It kind of shows you how you can fall in love with someone, and it doesn't matter how they look, it doesn't matter what gender they are, but you fall in love with them, and that's that. And I think it's sweet. It's really deep and interesting. I think that it's different from other movies. Like, I've never actually seen a movie exactly like this, and it kind of gives me the vibe of, what's that movie called? Lake House with Sandra Bullock. I think you'd like it. Most people would like it. This one, I'm gonna preface it, if you have a sensitive stomach or a queasy stomach, or like you watch something gross and you want to puke, don't watch this movie. But it was really good. Jungle with Daniel Radcliffe. Like, first of all, I love Daniel Radcliffe. Who wouldn't, from Harry Potter? And like, he's such a good actor. I'm surprised he didn't win awards for this. He did have like a weird accent, but you can get over it. It is based on a true story, like, which boggles the mind, and they actually like watered it down for the movie because the true story was so intense. It's hard to handle. The first 30-35 minutes were kind of boring, very slow moving, but once you actually get into it, it's so good. So it's a group of guys backpacking through the jungle, and there's a lot of like survival elements to it. It gets your heart racing and makes you very, very nervous, it makes you sweat, but there are some scenes that are so hard to watch. How do I word this? It's kind of like Castaway, only like 6 million times more intense. Okay, Crystal. That's a movie I was very surprised by. It has Rosario Dawson and Nick Robinson. He has a weird southern accent, which really was weird, and his character is kind of bizarre too, but It's pretty interesting. It's about a kid who develops feelings for this older woman who's in AA, and he actually pretends to be in AA just to meet her. Part of me looks at it and thinks, how could they do this and like make it okay for someone to pretend they're in AA? But another part of me is like, this is actually kind of beneficial and teaches people about that, but it also kind of disrespects the program, in my opinion. It kind of looks at the program as not a joke, but like just doesn't give it the respect it deserves. So it's kind of like, I don't know, if you have experience with the program, I don't know if you'll like it or not. It was kind of cheesy in certain points, but other points are funny and entertaining, and it's not as predictable as you might think. That's something I really want to say, is that it's, at first you're like, oh, I know what's going to happen, but like you don't. And also William H. Macy and his wife are in it, so I don't know how you feel about them at the moment, but William H. Macy actually directed it, so I feel like that's kind of where I think it went well, because he's so talented. What If? Oh my god. I don't know if I put this in a favorites, but I should have. It's a show on Netflix. It has Dave Annable, Blake Jenner, Renee Zellweger. Guys, this is such a good show. It's about Silicon Valley. It's about relationships, trust, secrets, drama. It's like, I don't know how to even word it. Renee Zellweger is like this big hotshot, but she's so secretive and like has all these like, you don't know how she got to be how she is. Has Blake Jenner, who again, he like, his character, there's so much character development in such a short period of time. Dave Annable plays a completely different character. He plays like a bad guy, like a really bad guy, and oh my god, it's just such a good show. Like, if you're looking for a show to binge watch, I think there's only 10 episodes. It's so good. I don't know if there's gonna be season 2, but I hope so, because it is phenomenal. The Hustle. Okay. Rebel Wilson and Anne Hathaway. If you guys know me, I am not a fan of Anne Hathaway in any way at all, but I love Rebel Wilson, so I had to give this movie a chance. Now, Anne Hathaway's British accent is an absolute nightmare, and if you have trouble watching things where people have bad accents, I don't think you're going to be able to make it through this. I feel like it's trying to balance between being funny and being deep. It's not what it looked like on the commercial. Let me put it that way. It's definitely not a movie I'd watch again. Little was a cute and funny movie. That was a comedy I would watch again if like it was on TV. It's very funny. It has Kevin from This Is Us in it. It's kind of cheesy, but it's about growth and change, and like, I'm sure you guys saw a commercial where like this woman who's like a big CEO, who's kind of like a nightmare, gets magically shrunk into like a 13-year-old, and she kind of has to learn a lesson and like being small, and like how she can't always be in charge, and like all this stuff. And I think it was pretty funny. I thought it was good. I thought the acting was really, really, really good. Wanda Sykes' Not Normal stand-up on Netflix. I was really disappointed in this. I think she's really funny sometimes. She's like really honest, and there's certain moments that I just hated though. I was watching it and I was enjoying it until she said this, which I'm going to say. She hated on people who are feminists but watch The Bachelor. She was really disrespecting people who are strippers. She was saying like, you can't be a feminist and watch The Bachelor, and what she was saying made me think she'd never watched The Bachelor before. And I think that she obviously isn't a feminist in my eyes, because a feminist in my eyes supports any woman no matter what her decisions are, whether she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, a stripper, go on The Bachelor. Like, I just found her to be very closed-minded, and like she made it seem like feminism is like one size fits all, but it's not. Like, you can be a feminist and still love makeup and romance and like watching Bachelor. She's saying you can't go, she said something like, you can't go to the Women's March and watch The Bachelor, and I was like, whoa, lady. So I completely disagreed with that, and I stopped watching at that point. 5 Feet Apart. Oh my god, Cole Sprouse. Okay, this is another movie where I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, they're like romanticizing you know, being sick and like being in the hospital. And I don't think they were. I think they're trying to look at the bright side, that just because you have an illness doesn't mean you can't have normal relationships and you can't have happiness. Like, you can still live a good life even though you're sick. You know, I feel like it actually shows that you can really find happiness and a connection in any way. I cried a bunch of times in the movie. I feel like it's a balance of having hope and being realistic, and I just think it was so good. It's way better than, what's it called, The Fault in Our Stars, like 100% better. 100% better. Always Be My Maybe on Netflix. That was a really good movie. It's with Ali Wong, and I can't remember the guy, but they've been friends in real life for a long time, and it's like a rom-com, but it's on an Asian couple, which I think is so awesome. Like, when do you see a rom-com featuring an Asian couple? I love Ali Wong. I love her stand-up comedy. I love her as an actor. I think she's hilarious. Her vibe in this movie is so good. And I feel like it's a rom-com that's actually semi-realistic. Like, it's not all like rainbows and unicorns. It really shows like how relationships can be. And I don't know, I thought it was really, really good. And I definitely think you should watch the credits if you watch that too. Okay, Brightburn. I don't know how to feel about this movie. If you didn't see the commercial, I don't know, like I saw the commercial and people were like, pretty much the commercial tells you what happens in the movie. It's pretty much about Superman if he was evil. It has like the parents adopted Superman, like, you know, like they found him as a baby and they raised him, but it's showing his powers coming through when he hits a certain age, and instead of being like good and saving people, he does the opposite, and starts killing people. And I feel like it has a lot of dull moments and it's kind of jumpy, and yes, the ad or the commercial or whatever kind of tells you everything that happens, and it's kind of gory and gross, and like, to me it just felt really short, and like there was no backstory, they didn't explain anything. It's just kind of like, okay, here's this kid, he's starting to develop powers, his parents want to believe that he's still good, but like he keeps doing all this messed up shit, and like he's kind of crazy. So I wish that there was more backstory, and it just felt super short to me. I don't know. It wasn't great, but it was kind of interesting too. I don't know. When They See Us. Do I even have to say anything? If you haven't seen When They See Us on Netflix, what are you doing? What are you doing? I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to watch it because it's so heartbreaking. That's why you have to watch it, especially if you're a white person. It makes you understand what we don't go through. It makes you see your white privilege. It makes you see, wow, I would never go into a police station feeling like that was going to happen to me, but almost every person of color goes into a police station, feels that way, and is scared that way. And it's shocking and disgustingly true, and it still happens to this day, which is so messed up. It's about the exonerated 5 in Central Park in the 80s. I think it was the 80s. This was before my time. Maybe it was the 90s. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I mean, oh god, I wrote like a novel here saying how despicable it was, and how if Felicity Huffman didn't piss off enough people with the college cheating scandal, she now plays like the worst character ever. I mean, she's a good actress, but she plays the woman who pretty much put these innocent kids behind bars, even though she knew they didn't do it. And she still, to this day, seems to think that they had something to do with it when it's been proven that they haven't. So, yeah, that character is a nightmare. Oh my god, how many times I wrote heartbreaking, horrifying, disgusting. Like, it's a fantastic show, but, like, it shows the disgusting, horrifying aspect of law enforcement and how things still happen to today, and how racism is not gone in any way, shape, or form, and how the justice system in this country is not flawed. It was meant to be this way. This is how it was always meant to be. It's not a mistake. It's something that people who created the justice system invented for a reason. Oh, a book I read. Ellen DeGeneres' Seriously, I'm Kidding, and I felt like it really aligned with her show. It was kind of like her show in book form, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was a quick read, so if you want something quick and kind of funny, that's a good one. Catastrophe. Oh my god, so funny. It's on Amazon. I think there's only 3 seasons. They're super short, but it's about a couple that kind of hang out for a couple weeks, and they really like each other, but they live in different countries. So they're like, okay, well, we're split up, like no big deal. But then she finds out she's pregnant, and they decide, you know what, we're just gonna make this work. This went from a one-night stand, and now we're gonna make this work. We're gonna stick it out. And it's so funny and relatable, and just, I mean, it is hilarious. I laughed out loud so many times. It's not your normal kind of like a rom-com TV show. It's not like a sitcom. Okay, I wrote here, it's how I want my future marriage to be. And if you watch it, you'll get what I mean. Good Sam on Netflix. Oh my god, it was like a Hallmark movie. It's so cheesy, has some cute guys in it, but it's like no better than a Hallmark movie. I think it's actually a Netflix original. It was just so cheesy. Like, it was hard to get through how cheesy it was. The Upside, that was good. It's also based on a true story, but they definitely changed a lot for the movie. It was funny, but it had sad moments for sure. Upside has Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston, where Bryan Cranston plays someone paraplegic, and he's looking for a caregiver, and that's all I want to give away to you. It's really hopeful and like kind of slow moving, but like I think it's a really solid movie, and I think a lot of people would enjoy it. Tempting Fate. This is an Alyssa Milano movie on Lifetime. It's based on a book. I only watched it because Alyssa Milano was in it, and she was like talking about it, and I was like, oh, I love Alyssa Milano, I have to watch it. My mom liked it. I felt like it was super predictable, like super predictable, but I don't think that it's just the script that messed it up. Like, I think that it had potential, but like even Meryl Streep couldn't make this script sound good. It was just not great. It's about cheating and kind of the aftermath of when you make that decision for cheating. And I don't know, I just felt like I didn't connect to Alyssa Milano's character, who's the main character. Like, I feel like you're supposed to connect with the main character and feel for them, and I didn't. Maybe it's just me, but I just felt like I had no sympathy for her whatsoever. I felt like she was so unlikable. I really didn't like the way that the movie ended. I felt like she kind of makes cheating look like it's forgivable, and it's something that just happens and like you can move on from it. That's not the way I see things. I think her character was really not who she is in real life. I follow Alyssa Milano and have for years since Charmed, actually since Who's the Boss, and I'm surprised she signed on for this role. She was good at it because I didn't like her so much, the character, but I don't know, it wasn't great. Okay, Murder Mystery was the Netflix original with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. I liked it. I thought it was really solid. Like, they did a really good job with this. It has that kind of vibe of, like, Clue and, like, solving this murder, but it also has really funny moments, and I think they are really good together. I do think they could have made it a little funnier and, like, a little bit more, like, raunchy Billy Madison vibes, but it was more, like, grown-up Adam Sandler. But it was really good. There's a car chase scene. They have good music in it. I think it was wrapped up really well, and I just thought it was really solid. Like, I would watch that movie again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, take a seat, get a drink. We're getting into it. Absentia. Season 1 was phenomenal. Season 2 was even more phenomenal. Oh my god. I feel like in season 1 you had no idea who the bad guy was. In season 2 they kind of like hint at it a little bit more. Maybe they like needed to do that because some people aren't as like in tune as me. But it's not like I want to say it's not as scary as season 1. Like the first season was so intense and like jump scares. This one had a lot more romance and a lot more like family moments. I don't know who writes this show, but they deserve lots of awards. Oh, it's still so dark and like, oh, it's so good. I hope they have a season 3 because, oh my god, Stana Katic is like one of the best actresses in the world. If you haven't watched Absentia on Amazon, watch it. Oh my god, it'll only take you like a weekend to get through both seasons. Okay, Long Shot. I was really excited to see this with Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron. I was really excited to see them together. I love them both for different reasons. And it's really, really funny, and they're both so talented, but I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. I feel like he actually wrote it, and it is really sharp and witty and funny, and it has that Seth Rogen-ness that we all love. And it kind of has that, it definitely is very feminist and like modern, and it shows Charlize Theron being like, you can do whatever you want. Like a woman who's in power shouldn't have to conform to society, and like she should be able to be successful without all this stigma and stuff. And it was really cute and really relevant. But, like, I don't know, like, if you watch it, you just, like, it's not as laugh-out-loud funny as other stuff with him. But, like, it was really, really good, and I would watch it again. Booksmart. I wouldn't rave about it like so many people did. I feel like a lot of people give it a bad rep for not being diverse enough, and I know we can't overlook that, because that is important, and it should have been more diversely casted. But at the same time, we can't overlook that it does have a positive message for girls, and it does, you know, show female friendship at a young age, and, like, this moment where young girls are really growing up and coming into their own, and it has LGBTQ issues in it and self-esteem issues in it, and I think it was a really beneficial movie. It's just not as funny as I wanted it to be, and like people were calling it Superbad for girls. I think Superbad was way funnier. I just didn't find this to be as funny. Like, it didn't like hit me as much as it could have, but it was still really good, and I think it is a nice coming of age story for girls. Okay, I finished Forensic Files. I literally watched every episode of Forensic Files on Netflix. So this is what I wrote down. I wrote, it went from cases catching a killer to getting people out of jail based on forensics. By the end, it started to prove how much law enforcement just wants to solve the case, not find the truth, and it really shows that a lot. I feel like if you watch Forensic Files and like get into the pattern of watching it, you notice how the cops don't want to find the truth. There's some cops that you interview and that are really like, I want to find the truth, but some are like, this is the person we thought did it, so we just kept pushing them, and then we found out that they didn't do it. So now that person probably has a traumatic experience with police, just because, like, I don't know. I feel like, find proof. Stop trying to get people to confess, because then they falsely confess, and then you mess up their entire life. And then I watched Making a Murderer. I know I'm really late to that, but the law enforcement in this country is bullcrap. Like, I don't care if you live in a major city or in, like, the boonies, and it's just this, the interviews with the people on this are sick and twisted, and like interrogations, the way they do them should be illegal. It's actually so crazy. They interview his nephew alone when he's 16 years old. Like, you can't do that. Like, how do people watch the interview with his nephew and think that he was actually being honest? Like, I literally wrote like 4 paragraphs about this, so I'm not gonna get into it, but they just ooh, law enforcement is in the pockets of the Republicans and they just want poor people to stay poor so that they can keep living in this class society. Oh my god, you know what, I can't. Secret Obsession on Netflix with Brenda Song and Mike Vogel. It is a good movie. It's a kind of thriller. It's about a girl who is in a abusive relationship, or something bad happens to her. She wakes up in the hospital and she has amnesia. She doesn't remember anything. And her husband is kind of psycho. I hate that it shows her waking up in a hospital with like false eyelashes on. I hate when movies do stuff like that, but whatever. It also has the guy who's not Morgan Freeman from the State Farm commercials. Don't know why everyone thinks it's Morgan Freeman. It's not Morgan Freeman. It's just an older black gentleman. So I don't know why people always think it's Morgan Freeman when it's not Morgan Freeman. But it's a guy from State Farm commercials who plays a cop. And I don't know, I thought it was really good. It's kind of predictable and kind of short, but like, it was good. I feel like they kind of missed the mark, but like, it was good. And I think Brenda Song needs to get back into acting more. Veronica Mars season 4. Okay, I love Veronica Mars. I watched all of the earlier seasons like before I watched this, and it is definitely like having a similar vibe to the original, but it is updated, more modern. Don't like the new theme song, like the original better. It's definitely more mature, it has more music in it than the original. She's just as smart as she's always been, but I feel like her emotional intelligence in the new season 4 was like just as low as it always was. Like I feel like, how many years later is it, and her emotional intelligence is just like poor? The ending, I have no words. They say they want to do more seasons, but I feel like with the ending they gave, they can't do more seasons because that's the whole point. And like, if you watch interviews with the people who create the show and say why they ended it the way they did, I hate that excuse, and I think it's dumb, and I'm pissed, and yeah. So I kind of wish I didn't watch it based on the ending, to be honest, but I actually really liked it until the last episode. Swiped on Netflix. It's like not good. It's like really hard to watch. It's like this kid creates a dating app that is really sexist, and it's kind of gross and misogynist and has nothing unique, and like the acting is kind of bad, and like I'm surprised that Noah Centineo really signed on for that. Yeah. There was another Noah Centineo, why can't I say his name right? Another movie with him where he created a dating app, and it was way better than this one. Okay, Otherhood. This one was pretty good. It has Felicity Huffman, Patricia Arquette, Angela Bassett, but it's a really good idea, and the actresses are really good, but the script felt really forced to me. I felt like the script needed to be better. Like, what are the writers in Hollywood doing? It's kind of unrealistic, but at the same time, it's pretty good. I don't know. I feel like my mom liked it. It's a good movie for women who have, like, grown children. It's funny, and it's good, but not great. Bloom. This was fantastic. On Hulu. It's from Australia. Phoebe Tonkin is the star of it. I love Phoebe Tonkin from the originals. I love her, and I've wanted to watch it since it came out, but it only just came out on Hulu like a few weeks ago in America. It's sort of confusing at first. At the first episode, you're kind of like, what is going on? But, oh my god, it's only 6 episodes. I hope they have a season 2. I don't think they're gonna have a season 2. Don't know how they would have a season 2, but it's insane. It's about this town in Australia that was hit by a flood, and ever since the flood, these flowers are plants, I guess, are like emerging where people had died in the flood, and if you take one, you become a younger version of yourself, and like, it's so cool. Oh my god, it's literally so good. Watch it. Oh my god. I Am the Night is not what I expected. It was that TNT show with Chris Pine. Am I saying the right Chris? I think so. It has the younger sister from Secret Life of American Teenager. What? I know. It is about, the commercial made it seem like it was a murder mystery about like the Black Dahlia. Not that. It's not really a murder mystery. It's more about a young girl trying to figure out her family history, and then it has Chris Pine trying to figure out a different crime, and they kind of come together and like merge with these two things that kind of like, she's looking for her family, he's looking for a murderer, and their stories kind of combine. It's really good though. Like, it is really good. Aladdin. I watched Aladdin, the live action Aladdin. It's good, but not as good as the original cartoon in my opinion. It's just not as funny as that one. It's beautiful and like unique, and I loved how they filmed it. The costumes, the colors, like everything is really true to what you want it to be. I love the chemistry of the characters, and Will Smith, of course, like made the movie, but it didn't grab me as much as like the live action Cinderella or live action Beauty and the Beast did. That was my last one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this movie review video. If you did, make sure to give a big old thumbs up. Let me know which movie down here in the comments that you're gonna watch, or that you already have watched. I think that's all. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more from me. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.